Who is this Robin Hood? Who is this character? His name is Luigi Mangione. One of the most Italian-looking guys.
People were DMing me being like, are you going crazy for this? And it's like, wait, are you an Italian-American, strong jaw? I mean, pictures.
Such a strong jaw.
Pictures all over
Great
the internet
body,
with his,
too.
with his shirt off.
He's a surfer?
I mean, the abs. I mean, yeah, I'm going crazy for it.
He said, hey, how you doing?
That is the problem. His Italianness did get him in the end. He could not help but flirt with the...
Get the teller at McDonald's.
We cannot help it. just as Andrew Cuomo said, the great Andrew Cuomo said, I'm not perverted, I'm Italian.
That's great. Yeah, that's right. He did say that.
I'm looking downtown with Betty on me. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going on. So listen up to Betty on me. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going on.
Oh, man. Whoa, you guys got us. You just got us. We were in the middle of saying a funny joke. That's really funny. The joke you just said that everybody missed.
Too bad we
Man.
can't air it.
Too bad we can't air it. Too naughty. Too naughty.
I
Welcome.
wouldn't even say it's naughty.
Yeah,
I'd
you're
say
right. Just about right.
the average Joe just wouldn't understand.
Yeah. Wow. So you're an elitist now?
When it comes to this kind of joke I tell, yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty good. God, I wish you guys could have heard it. Man.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back to
what
this.
what a wild week we had.
What a wild. It's a wild week. Everybody in a wild
Also, before
week.
we get going, I think we already made a decision, but I do want to, before we go full hog, I want to put it to the audience to see if there's anything we're not taking into account. We have been toying with the idea of becoming a live show, of doing...
I mean, we're already live, but like live stream.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I'm just... Never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, because this is even when we had a quicker turnaround at TMG, it was still, because I think we would get it out within 24 hours.
Yeah.
Maybe like 36 or something like that. But it was like, we would record, we would get in the car, you'd open Twitter, and you'd be like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's...
Because stories would come out.
Yes.
Mhm.
And obviously last week was a great example of...
As soon as we finish, man.
I mean, it's...
Jeez.
And the way everything moves so quick, it's like the thing people are talking about by the time it comes out, 2 days later, it's a fucking mess. So we are... last week was a perfect example. Just...
Everything happened after we recorded.
And we
Very frustrating.
We could have gone live multiple times if we wanted to. So we're thinking we're going to make... we got to get some ducks in a row. You can't just all of a sudden become a new format show.
Yeah.
But obviously we know there's going to be... No matter what we do, there's always some sicko who's like, I hate this.
Yeah.
So we're not... If you're a sicko, save it for when we switch. You can do your... But if there's a genuine reason that you think...
Well, there's nothing...
The Ben and Emil show
for those who
suffer for that, let us know.
For the people
or if you're like, we like that, go ahead. We'd love to know.
But regardless, do comment all the time, period.
Never stop commenting.
Never stop commenting.
ABC always be commenting.
Also, just a reminder.
Comment right now. If you're not commenting right now, say, hey, let me pause it real quick and comment.
And just a reminder to go to Stock Twits on YouTube and follow them and watch our episode from last week. It's going to be under the live tab because we do a live show there every Friday, except for this week because Emil's going out of town.
Also, to be clear, if it turns into a live show, you'll still be able to watch it whenever you want. It'll go up later as video on demand.
Yes.
It'll go out.
The audio
will be pushed to all audio platforms. Nothing will change if you don't want to tune in live. It might just be a little bit more fun and allow us to get out.
And we would probably do it on Wednesdays just to leave that little bit of buffer for Friday's live stream.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah, we'll figure that out, man.
In the duck row thing.
Yeah, when we get
let
them
us know
ducks
what
in
you
a
think
row.
about that.
You want to hear my impression of the ducks getting in a row? I'm moving one. Okay, I got them all. Hey, you get back. Okay,
pretty
that's
good.
Enough of
That seems like a great place to start.
All right, I'd like to let everybody know that the Christmas toad is almost here, meaning you better put on some chapstick to get ready to suck him off. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you're in for a treat. The Christmas toad is it's a new tradition. He's a toad. He comes once per year, and when he comes to town, it is your duty to suck him off. he doesn't come, he does not get completed, you just suck him off for as long as you or he feels is necessary. But we made some Christmas toad. The people love Christmas toad. That's what they're saying. Anyway, we made Christmas toad merch because why aren't we? And it's up on the website, benandemilshow.com. I believe it's just what? Shirts and sweatshirt? Just shirts and sweatshirt? Great.
And there's nothing about coming or sucking off
there's nothing on there.
It's just a toad.
It's otherwise safe, but yeah.
So you can wear it with pride. And when you wear it, you don't have to tell anybody about the sucking off thing that he said. You can just say it's the Christmas toad.
Yeah, it's the Christmas toad. Yeah, the art is right here.
It'll be just like this.
You got that? It'll be right there. The Christmas toad
Merry
right
Christmas.
here in the middle. Merry Christmas. Not happy holidays, because this is a Christian nation. And I can say that as a Jew. I don't care. It doesn't offend me.
What other things can you say as a Jew?
Oh, the K word. But Keurig. But
all right, let's get into the real
get right
story
into
because and before we even jump, obviously the big story we missed last week was the assassination of Brian Thompson, the United Thompson, excuse me, Thompson.
That's weird. You fucked that up.
Just plow right through, baby.
Yeah.
The United Healthcare CEO. They have the person of interest in custody. Before we even get into that, because I feel like there's a real pre and post getting someone. Getting the person of interest.
Oh.
I feel like, the narrative's different now. We had, it was beautiful. It was very pure before they got someone in custody because it was just, we didn't know. We were all rooting for him to get away.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
We all thought he got away.
We did. We thought he was home free.
Mm-hmm.
And he was basically just some kind of like mythical folk hero for all of us. And it was it's still kind of disorienting. It's usually when something like this happens, it's politicized immediately. There's a divide immediately. Like if you think about other high profile killings, Kyle Rittenhouse.
Oh yeah, sure.
Daniel Penny, the guy who,
Mm-hmm.
which is, it's very funny that is going on at the same time.
They're trying to make it go on at the same time.
Well,
Like
I just
the
think
conservatives
timing wise, because he got off, it's just happening at the same time. And usually it's a weird thing where, people are just saying, where do I fall on the political spectrum? And that's going to make me decide how I feel about this thing.
Yes. Not this
This one was the most united. This is the most united the country has ever been in recent memory.
Yeah.
And
we'll get into that.
And even I think some right-wing people tried to claim that there was, if you celebrated this at all, there was
No, they're saying the leftists are celebrating it.
Yes, and that was some kind of, there was barbarity involved. You were a depraved individual. The most high-profile ones probably Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, and their comments are full of people going, "Stop calling this the left. You're an idiot if you think this is like a left of, everyone in this country."
Some people saying, I remember seeing a couple that said, I understand finally what your grift is. You're trying to pit, you're just trying to politicize this. You politicize everything. This ain't about left versus right. This is about rich versus poor.
Which is
pretty great.
Would be a really beautiful outcome of all of this if people could start to feel like, oh, wow, maybe these guys are not on my team, which I think they try to position themselves as, I'm between the elites and you. I'm protecting you. I'm speaking up.
So Brian Thompson is the CEO who got killed, and when I Googled him, Google hadn't yet caught up, and it showed me Brian Thompson, this actor guy.
Oh yes, very funny.
And I'm sure he's equal parts pumped and upset. Because I just love that photo of him. He just looks like
he looks
it's
like
that guy.
like this.
It's like that guy Matt Gaetz, Gates, who every time the pedophile accusations come up, he has to be like, not that guy.
Oh yeah, or Jeff. I know that there was a guy on Twitter named Jeff Epstein.
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah, same thing. But so no, it is not Brian Thompson. I know you might be thinking, wait, Brian Thompson, the actor, got killed? The guy from the first Terminator?
Thompson is safe.
He's safe.
Don't worry.
I'm sure his star meter on IMDb just shot up quite a few points, but no. Brian Thompson, the 50-something-year-old, is he divorced? I think he was divorced. He lives
I
separately
don't
from
think
his
they
wife.
were divorced. I think they were living separately.
Gotcha.
But that's another funny thing is that, obviously it wasn't just as much as like Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh were trying to say, this was the celebrations of leftist freaks or whatever. The New York Times and all of these publications are trying to, when it's coming out, they're like, well, who would do something to a family man,
Yeah.
a good man, an upstanding citizen like Brian Thompson?
Yeah. And
Not that living away from your wife makes you a bad guy.
yeah, I'm
but
not
he did
gonna,
have a DUI that people weren't talking about. But again, who hasn't been eligible for one of those?
That's pretty good. That's pretty good phrasing. Who hasn't been eligible for one of those? I think, amen, brother. I think we've all been eligible for a Dewey before. But he actually, we came to learn not to just.
That's not an endorsement.
And
Don't do
also,
that. Don't drive.
yeah,
but
this isn't the equivalent. We're not prefacing all this with like, what was he wearing type thing? What was she wearing type thing? But
no, but the what was he wearing? We'll get to. I mean,
he was wearing a blue suit. He was wearing a blue suit.
He was wearing destroying Americans' lives.
He was wearing a target on his back. So I think he was asking for it. But he was, as it turns out, he was being investigated for insider trading because this last February, he and some other executives at United Healthcare. United Healthcare, by the way, head and shoulders above the other health insurers. They are the biggest by far. I mean, they're like a $500 billion company.
Oh yeah, biggest healthcare insurer. I thought you were
huge.
going to say, because Ken Klippenstein, the reporter, posted the graph that everyone has been seeing, the claim denial rates by insurance company. Not only are they the largest,
they deny about a third of all claims.
They also have the highest rate of denials at 32%.
Yeah, and
which is astounding.
A lot of that ticked up under the leadership of Brian Thompson, as did United Health's profits, as did their stock, which up until his killing was at all-time highs. Again, not saying that I'm just stating the facts here. But so,
what are you worried that implies?
I don't know. I just don't. We'll get to how we feel about this.
But what are you worried that implies?
I don't know. Just like, oh, these things actually make him worthy of being killed.
Oh.
No, insider trading is not a punishable offense by death. But except when I do it, which I haven't. I've never done that. I had the chance one time years ago, and I didn't do it.
Loser.
Oh God, this guy but this is before I was licensed or anything. This guy worked at Goldman Sachs and was like drunk as hell. And he said, "You know what stock you should buy?" And he gave me the ticker symbol for this like biotech company. And I was like, okay, yeah. And I didn't. And it went from like $8 a share to 80. And I just thought, I want to fucking die. Hey, gang, we want to take a quick break to talk a little bit about the holiday season. You know, you got these gift ideas. Are you struggling with giving a gift? I'm always struggling with gift ideas.
I'm always struggling, but this year's going to be a little easier.
This year's a little bit easier because imagine this, all right? Just picture you got your loved one and they've got a celebrity that they absolutely adore, right?
Or a subject they're interested in.
Yeah, that they wish that they could hang out with. Like I know you are a big tennis guy.
Well, that's the thing. So we're talking about MasterClass, folks, and I got myself one
perfect gift.
You know what? Yeah, I got myself a gift. Basically, I'm all up in that Serena Williams MasterClass. I am learning about mental toughness. I'm learning about I'm trying to improve my ground strokes. I didn't
even know that was a word in tennis.
Ground strokes.
Ground strokes.
Ground strokes is the name of the game.
Wow. All right. Well, I be doing ground strokes, but I just call that mopping.
We're going to cut that out.
No, we can keep that. Don't just give your loved ones something that they want. Give them something they want to be. A tennis player, a better tennis player, a better cook, a better entrepreneur or artist, just like they've always wanted. That, my friends, that's the gift of MasterClass.
I'm gifting my whole family.
You got someone who's a photographer? Get them a photography class from a well-renowned photographer. Get them a business class. Get them they
want to learn how to invest in the stock market?
Yeah.
Ray Dalio.
Boom. You're there. But that's one
right there. They
want
to learn how to build $1 billion company? Mark Cuban.
They are on MasterClass. That's the thing. You think of a name, I guarantee you that they got a MasterClass you can take. So
And you're going to seem thoughtful, okay? Because
Yeah,
your
so
family's going to go
thoughtful.
like, wow, he understands what I'm interested in. He's getting me something that I can help learn more about.
MasterClass always has great offers during the holidays, sometimes up to as much as 50% off. So head over to masterclass.com/BAES for the current offer. That's up to 50% off at masterclass.com/BAES. Masterclass.com/BAES. Anywho, Brian Thompson was accused of insider trading because last February he and a bunch of other executives sold tens of millions of dollars worth of their stock just prior to an investigation.
Yeah, $120 million.
Worth of stock into
Because they were aware that a DOJ investigation was coming.
Mhm.
The public was not, and they said, you know what, let's dump some of this. It's
Yeah.
also always so fun. They were getting sued by the City of Hollywood Firefighters Department. It's always like,
because it's a pension fund.
yeah, it's
and,
always like the teachers' fund being like, you guys ripped us off. And they're
Yeah.
like, shut up.
And it is worth noting that when that happened, the stock was around $400 per share, and now it's well above that. It's like 500 something. But
when he sold, so I think he sold $15 million worth.
Mhm.
After that, $25 billion in shareholder value was erased.
Right.
Once the news broke.
and then he died, and
But
pretty-
also important to note,
What?
it's not just the insider trading. Under him was, as you were saying, the raise of more claim denials.
Yes.
They were using weird algorithms to deny claims.
yes,
One was, which they were being sued, NaviHealth, which incentivizes employees to use a tool to deny care.
why would they do that?
They
It's almost like
were
they've got
testing-
shareholders they're beholden to.
testing a new HCE auto authorization model, noted that it produced faster handle times, but there was also an increase in the number of cases that were denied due to the system catching errors that were missed in the original review. Yeah, so they were just trying to make this whole AI thing, because they also knew that people just do not have the time and energy to file appeals. They figured out it was like 0.92% of people will actually file an appeal.
I'm sure
So
it's
people
very,
just
very
go-
tedious and cumbersome.
Yeah, I'm sure they're not making it easy to do.
Yeah, you got to write handwritten letter or some shit. Who knows? One thing I can say, and this is just to underscore a lot of the theme of this whole thing, which is the haves and the have-nots. If anybody else were to get shot in the street like that, ain't nobody going on any kind of manhunt for that killer. It would just be, hey, maybe it makes maybe it makes the evening news. People get shot and killed all the time. But when it's a big bad CEO, they're all going, oh, we got to find this guy. We got to find him. We got to use all the resources at our disposal. And you bet your ass that they used every single resource, legal and illegal, to track down our boy Luigi Mangione.
which didn't really net much results.
Mhm.
They got it off some elderly gentleman that shared a bus with him. Tipped him.
That's what it ended up being?
Yeah. Before we even get to that, though, but that was the most beautiful thing. This was not just people going crazy on Twitter. It seemed like every person was like, good. I'm
Yeah.
glad that motherfucker is dead. It was just insane to watch. I mean, it was they had to take down the post on Facebook because it had so many people were hitting the laughing emoji so many
Right.
times. They were taking down posts, disabling comments all over Reddit. Even doctors and nurses were like, I'm kind of glad this motherfucker's dead. And like sharing stories of United Healthcare making their life hell, making their patients' life hell. We had a real life Robin Hood. People were feeling really good.
So who is this Robin Hood? Who is this character? His name is Luigi Mangione. One of the most Italian looking guys you could.
Also, this is all allegedly. That's why I'm saying like this whole thing changes now because everyone could make it whatever they wanted.
Yeah, and it does stink a little bit. It's kind of
It
stinky.
definitely does.
Yeah.
And now the whole story is becoming whatever the NYPD and law enforcement is telling us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when have you felt good about trusting them as a source?
Yeah.
Can you,
Mayor Eric Adams. We caught him. His name is Luigi Mangione.
and already
He might have had a gun. and we took his gun. Ha ha! I love.
The anti-Italian sentiment in this country is already going crazy.
Yeah, boy.
I'm seeing you guys tweet
As if it
stuff.
wasn't high enough already.
There was already a huge problem in this country.
I ate some meatballs the other night with great reluctance. So
Out of respect.
Yeah. Luigi was, as it turns out, a bit of a doomer. If you found yourself going through his Twitter trying to file him under left or right, as everybody was trying to do, I think you're making a fatal error.
Everyone, you're stuck thinking about this in the wrong way. You want to think,
which isn't your fault.
Well, sure.
We've all been programmed to. Every time there's a shooting or something big, everybody scrambles to go, was he left or right? Was he left? Whose team gets the blame? You got to claim him because he liked Bernie Sanders' Facebook page or some shit.
But he's extremely interesting. He grew up very wealthy from Maryland. A bit of a important, significant family in Maryland. His grandparents started some kind of real estate company where they would build homes around golf courses, then ended up starting a nursing home company, and then even owned a radio station.
Hell yeah. Love that.
And had a pretty privileged life. Went to a very fancy prep school in Baltimore called the Gilman School, all boys school. Currently, tuition's about $40,000 a year. Crazy.
He was a valedictorian.
Oh, yeah. Smart guy. Then ended up getting his bachelor's and his master's from UPenn.
Yep.
And then I don't exactly know what this is, but he was working as a head counselor for this pre-college thing at Stanford. So very much in the realm of elite institutions.
Did you read his manifesto that was allegedly leaked online?
Yes.
Or found?
Keyword alleged. Like that's
what's so hard.
As soon as law enforcement is involved in like this, I'm just like, I don't know what is real.
Yeah.
That's where everything feels fishy. Okay, he was caught in Altoona, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
The bus he was riding stopped to get something to eat for everybody at a McDonald's. An elderly person on the bus recognized him. This is the story they're telling.
Yeah.
Called in the tip. They come and get him. He's got the four fake IDs on him. He's got $10,000 in cash, $8,000 in American dollars, $2,000 in foreign currency, and of course he's got his ghost gun and silencer. If you don't know what a ghost gun is, it's
when a ghost dies or a gun dies. Fuck. A gun dies and then its spirit continues to live on.
But they're guns that are hard to trace, and they're manufactured from different parts. Sometimes they're 3D printed.
Yeah. So that's fishy right there.
And he also had the manifesto which. It feels weird even calling it a manifesto. It's 262 words. You're saying it's a 2-page handwritten manifesto.
So that must be different from the one that I.
There's a fake one out there.
Yeah, the fake one, because on the fake one he talks about his mom having some kind of injury. That must be fake because his family would also obviously have the wealth enough to do that. But so the story goes, according to not testimony, but anecdotes from people who claim to have known him, went to school with him. He had injured his back on a surf trip or something.
Yeah, there was a surfing incident.
He moved to Japan and he just kind of fell off the grid. There were people dug up tweets of friends like tweeting at him saying like, "Hey man, hope you're okay. Haven't heard from you in a while."
This is in the past 6 months.
Yeah.
Up until the past 6 months, he was in contact with friends and family.
Yeah.
And now everyone's really focused on these last 6 months.
Yes.
But before that, he was kind of bouncing around. He was living in Hawaii. They have some. That's what's so crazy. They have so many people, friends who are posting, people who are coming out and talking about him.
His hot sister.
He seemed. Do you want to check the age on that before you?
Oh, come on, dude! Give me a fucking break. What? Because I said the missing woman from 2001. Oh, she's good looking, and then it turns out it was her portrait from her senior portrait.
Yes, that's exactly.
Don't crucify me, okay? Hey, gang, we got to take another quick little break.
Ben, I got something to share with you.
What do you have to share with me?
You probably didn't even notice, but I played tennis right before I got here, and
wow.
you didn't smell me, did you?
I don't smell anything.
You know why?
On you. because you used Mando?
I used Mando, baby.
Wow. Well, I can tell you what I like about Mando is that it makes my colleague here not stink. You know? I'm guessing you use it all over your dang body, huh?
Of course. I mean, depending on how hard I sweat, it's a bit cooler here in Los Angeles these days. But I still worked up a sweat in the tennis.
Yeah. So you might be asking yourself, what makes Mando unique and different from any other deodorant? Well, I'll tell you. It is a whole body deodorant. It is seriously safe to use anywhere on your body. Your pits, your packages. I'm talking about your balls and stuff, your belly button, your butt crack, any stinky crevice whatsoever, stomach folds, feet even. And Mando was created by a doctor, yes, a real doctor, who saw firsthand how normal body odor was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. So Mando whole body deodorant is powerful enough for the toughest body odor, but gentle enough for little guys like Emil here.
I also want to note, pretty good gift. Don't be embarrassed.
Mhm.
I would say maybe go with guy friends. Not don't try to gift it to your girlfriend, but a guy's gonna be thankful for
Yes,
this.
they're aluminum-free, baking soda-free, cruelty-free, dye-free, and vegan. Plus, it's clinically proven to control odor better than a shower with soap alone. 12 hours after a shower, the average man's ball odor level was a 5 out of 10. Boy, I hate to have that job to be rating that. Hey, smell this guy's balls. What is it? Give it a.
Oh,
And the guy
9
was
out
a
of
5 out of
10.
10. But with Mando, the average grundle odor level is a 0 out of 10.
That's pretty good. That's
So,
a huge improvement.
That is a huge improvement. Mando's
We
starter
crunched the
pack.
numbers on that.
Yeah,
Huge improvement.
massive improvement. Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers or to secure some last-minute stocking stuffers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, plus free shipping. Luckily, we have a discount code to help you get hooked on our favorite smelling whole body deodorant on the market. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Use code BAES at shopmando.com, shopmando.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Don't let the meat sweats get you this holiday season. Your family and friends will thank you.
But so he ended up living in this. I guess the only way it's like a commune almost for
Italians?
I
believe they call that a
they call that
pizzeria.
Central New Jersey. But for what do they call them? Digital nomads, basically.
Yeah.
It was, but more intentional than that. I think they were they capped it at a certain amount, but it was out in Hawaii, and the guy who ran the place was on CNN and was talking about how much pain he was in from this back injury, and it was affecting his romantic life, which I didn't realize. He said, Mr. Martin said he and others in the community came to understand that the pain was no small matter to a young man yearning for a normal lifestyle. He knew that dating and being physically intimate with his back condition wasn't possible.
Damn, dude.
Which I don't know exactly what it means, if he's not able to get an erection because of what's going on with his back.
Maybe, or no position was comfortable.
True.
To have sex in.
Uh,
I hope to God he was able to crank one out.
Doesn't seem like it, given his actions.
I guess, yeah. But what's so? Yeah, it's a little suspicious to me that this guy. You mean to tell me that this guy is slick enough to carry out this this killing in New York, get away scot-free, but then when he's caught, he still has the murder weapon.
Yeah, it's all very
between
weird.
New York and Pennsylvania where he's caught. So many places, so many opportunities to
just
ditch
dump the
everything you
fucking
got.
gun. It's a
dump
ghost
the gun,
gun.
shave your head, whatever the fuck, wear a wig. Who the hell knows? He's still got the gun on him. He's got this cash that, by the way, at his arraignment, he said he apparently didn't know where that money came from. Super fishy. Stinks like fish, if you ask me. He's got the gun. He's got the
but that might
silencer.
have been him trying to
Be
be able to get bail because, but I don't know. Because that obviously reeks of flight risk if he's got a bunch of fake IDs
Yeah.
and foreign cash and stuff like that.
And you know
so
what?
he might have just been like,
Maybe it's possible he had other plans. Maybe it's possible he was going to kill again, kill someone else. Oh, God forbid, kill himself. He also had this written manifesto on his person, and in it he said that he act alone. acted alone.
Also carrying the hard copy of the manifesto.
Maybe he was getting ready to mail it. You never know. Maybe he was getting ready to mail it from a different state to kind of throw the. That's what's. I mean, there's so many things in this that at first blush make you go, "That's suspicious," but then I can very quickly potentially explain it away. Like him still having the gun. Maybe he had it on him for protection, or for he had other plans.
The most viable explanation I've heard is that, have you heard of the like parallel construction thing people are pointing out?
I have. Remind me what it is. What is parallel construction?
It's basically that law enforcement could be using unconstitutional methods that they don't really want to be forthcoming about. So as they're doing that, they're kind of building this parallel evidentiary case.
That isn't real?
And that they're going to be putting out.
Gotcha.
No, they're like, using...
Oh, they like violated his rights and the rights of the people that came
and then
across.
So they're like, and here's how it happened. And everyone's going, that kind of fucking feels weird.
And an old man on a bus? Everybody knows that old men sleep on buses. They're not.
They really had no idea who he was. It's odd he gave them a fake ID.
Yeah.
The one that he used at the hostel.
Mm-hmm.
He could have given his real ID and been like, I'm Luigi Mangione.
Yeah.
Of the golf course real estate fame.
Yeah.
Or maybe our radio station.
Yeah.
Or our nursing homes even.
Well, no matter what.
Call my grandfather. He'll work this out.
This is how I feel, these guys. When people ask about Luigi Mangione, the murderer?
He was the best guy around.
What about the people he murdered?
What murder?
What murder?
I love those guys.
Oh, God, I love those guys. So let's see.
Wait, but is that really how you feel? Because it seems like you're pretty cagey about
how I feel about all this.
Yeah.
Well, we can wait if you. But
well, I've got all this written out. I've got all this written out right here. Did Brian? What's his name? Brian Johnson?
Thompson.
Brian Johnson is the don't die guy.
The don't die guy. Plus, I believe that was also the replacement for Bon Scott of AC/DC, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Everyone knows Bon Scott era AC/DC.
Yeah,
is
Bon
the real...
Scott. Bon Scott. Sounds like a French guy.
He's
a guy whose dad had sex with a French lady, and he had to compromise and name his kid something French, but kept the American last name.
Because the only French you know is bonjour.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, we can cut that. Don't cut that. No, I don't know. But okay, so here's my editorial on this whole thing.
You have an editorial?
Well, yeah. Well, kind of. This is all editorial.
No, this is straight facts from me.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. It is facts. Did Brian Thompson deserve to die? That's kind of at the crux of all this, right? Did he deserve to die? And I'm not going to make a judgment call on that because it's not for me to say whether somebody lives or dies or how they get punished. That's for the court of law to determine.
Yeah, but a lot of people are calling this, and I'm inclined to agree, Brian Thompson and people like this a mass murderer, if you will.
Yeah, indirect mass murderer. I would agree with that.
Not indirect, and I think that's the problem. Everyone's like, nope, he wears a fucking suit and tie to work, and he just makes decisions, and he's got his annual reports. And
sure.
The entire business model is to juice shareholder value by making sure as little people get care as possible.
Indirect in that he himself is not pulling the plug. He's not doing all these kinds of things. I won't get caught on semantics. I would say he is indirectly, which is just as...
I know, but it's that indirect that like makes it feel like, well, yeah.
Well, because then you would have to give everybody along that whole chain of command equal responsibility.
And we should.
I don't know about that.
It's like with the ICC stuff with Israel, where Lindsey Graham is like, well, if they're liable, then that means we might end up in jail too. And everyone's like, yeah. You're getting it.
Yeah.
I think of the scene in The Incredibles, the first Incredibles, where Bob is still working for the insurance company.
Yeah, someone posted that his whole redemption arc comes from him choking out his...
I don't think that when he's in the service of the company, like denying claims, I don't think that he's just as culpable as his evil boss, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, I think if you just got a job, one of the biggest employers in the country,
sure,
not just United, but the entire healthcare sector.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you are a
We're
guilty
getting hung up
individual.
on this. I think that he's indirectly responsible for tens of thousands of deaths, right?
Which is a lot.
Which is a lot. Surely a lot.
That's a lot of.
And a lot of what people who are against this whole narrative are saying is that, oh, like this isn't the way to do it. This vigilante justice is not justice. It's just this person acting on their own. And like, sure, I can get behind that argument about vigilante justice, because then it's just then this whole thing that we've got, this whole society we've built is for naught if anybody can just go determine how they are going to exact punishment for whatever.
I think that is
Sure.
the problem, is that the whole society we've built
Mhm.
is creates desperate people who
Yes.
are
Elements of it do. So, like I wrote here, this guy, Brian, was indirectly responsible for the pain, suffering, and death of tens of thousands of people, as during his tenure at United Healthcare, denials went up, as did their profits.
immediately after he was shot, they had a quote from his wife. That was basically, they asked, was anything out of the ordinary happening? Was there any
We get
motive?
death threats all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, no, there was death threats, something about denying claims, but
Totally
that's
normal.
right. And so you have this, you have this system where they've built in this, that's just cost of doing business.
Yeah.
That's just part of the job. Nathan J. Robinson had like a very succinct take on it. What he just said, he retweeted part of the story and he said, just live a life where people are not celebrating when you die.
Hey, everybody. We want to take another quick break. We're going to thank a sponsor of today's episode. We've talked about them before. They're a great gift.
It's another perfect gift.
It's another perfect gift.
I mean, the holidays are here. This one, it's Aura Frames, baby.
Aura Frames. Yeah.
You're going to be a star with this one.
What?
You're killing it with your moms, your aunts, your dads, your aunts, your uncles,
You
brothers,
said ants
sisters.
twice.
Because ants are important. You
got
gotta get them a
everybody.
gift. Get your ants twice as many gifts as other people.
Grandma, grandpa, nana, papa, chomo, whatever you call your
Aura
grandparents.
has been named the #1 digital photo frame by Wirecutter. Okay, they're incredibly smart and easy to use, allowing you to upload unlimited photos and videos directly from your phone to the frame. Plus, you can order the frame online and preload it with photos and videos using the Aura app, so
That's
it's ready right
exactly
out of the
right.
box, which is the best
Right.
part.
Yep.
You get to give it to your aunts twice with all your favorite, you go on vacation with your aunts, you're eating dinner with your aunts, all that stuff.
You
with
can
your
sneak
aunts.
something funny in there
Yeah.
to make your auntie laugh when she sees it. Because let's be honest, what most people really want for the holidays is to see their favorite people more often. And what better way to do that with a digital frame from Aura Frames?
You really
Right?
are going to crush with this, okay?
Yeah.
People are going to be like, wow, he's thoughtful. He preloaded some photos on there. He was thinking about me.
Yeah. So save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames by using promo code BAES at checkout. That's AURA frames.com. Promo code BAES, BAES. This deal is exclusive to our listeners and viewers, so get yours now in time for the holidays. Terms and conditions apply. That's pretty good. Yeah. So I think for those of you who have a hard time understanding this, maybe I can help. People are cheering this on because our system is set up to reward people like Brian and not punish him ever, because it's all legal what he's doing. Same thing. You can apply that same kind of logic to the bankers who caused the Great Recession. These are people whose job, like what was
Elon Musk.
What?
Elon Musk put it perfectly. He clearly doesn't understand this. I'm curious to see like how his followers who think he's some kind of, protection against like elites trying to take over everything. He said, it's disgusting how everyone is turning this guy into some kind of folk hero. Insurance companies, like any company, have a duty to shareholders to maximize profits, no matter how ruthlessly. The radical left espousing otherwise needs to grow the hell up. But it's, as he said, it's not just insurance companies. I mean, you I'm sure you've all been exposed to stories of going all the way back to what was it, Ford with the Pinto, where it's the let them burn or whatever, the memo.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
they basically
was
had
cheaper.
to crunch the numbers. Which would cost them more? The deaths from whatever, like the faulty fuel gauge or whatever, or the lawsuits.
Yeah.
So I mean the recall.
Yeah.
So they did it. If we recalled, it'll cost us about $121 million. If you think this many fuel gauges are going to fail, this many people die, lawsuits are going to cost us about $45 million.
So by
Dollars.
Elon
Well,
Musk's
We
logic,
might as well let people die.
it doesn't matter. That's not good. That's not bad because that CEO of Ford at the time is just acting in the service of his shareholders.
making
He's
a
just doing his duty.
Prudent business
Suck
decision.
my dick, Elon Musk. Suck my dick. What was Brian Johnson?
Thompson.
Sorry. Jesus Christ. It's such a forgettable
now have some
name.
Respect. The guy
Ugh.
just died.
Brian Thompson. What was his job exactly? What was the company's goal? How are they supposed to pay their dividend? Because they do. United Healthcare is so flush with profits that they pay a dividend to their shareholders. They give them a little share of the profits because they're making that much. They're a $500 billion company. His job was to take money from people, customers, and then make sure that the company denies as many claims as possible. Deny as much coverage as possible. Why? To maximize the profits in service of the shareholders, in service of the pension funds, in service of everybody who's got a stake in United Healthcare, squeezing every last bit of profit out of the people who pay the premiums.
But that's the most compelling part. You said, for anyone who can't understand this, the most compelling part about all of this is that everyone understood it immediately because everyone has interacted with the system. I'm 35. I now have a bunch of friends who are new parents. It's crazy how many people I've talked to post birth, been like, how's everything going? Who note that now they're worried about what the bill is going to look like. Not
Unreal.
only it's just fucking insane.
I mean, my dandruff. Won't someone think of me? My dandruff foam. I had to pay $980 for this can of foam.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, that's how much I paid. I didn't tell you that.
$980?
Yeah. I suffer. I needed to buy it. I was like, I sat there at the pharmacy and I was like, do I really want to put this on my credit card right now? But I was like, I am at my wit's end. I cannot keep washing my fucking hair with this shampoo that doesn't work. I'm going to try the foam. I'm just going to try it.
Very sad. We're joking, but
And it didn't get covered because a Kaiser Permanente doctor did not prescribe it. So the pharmacist guessed because she said, you know what, next time, I will have to go to my main Kaiser doctor. Then either she will be able to prescribe it or she will refer me to a Kaiser Permanente dermatologist who will then be able to hopefully be able to prescribe it. But I'm sure I will have to show proof that I have tried ketoconazole shampoo. I've tried clobetasol steroid topical cream. Fucking all of these things.
Yeah, but we're joking about your dandruff, but that is very real. You've been trying to figure it out forever. You are at it. You're like, fine, I'll pay fucking close to $1,000 just to get some fucking relief. And in the wake of all this, I'm sure you've seen so many people are posting their own stories, and I can barely make it through. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
People talking about getting cancer and having to fight tooth and nail. Someone posted a story about a woman who got mauled by a bear. Literally, her face ripped off, and she had to go through months, if not years, of rehab and all of these different surgeries and everything. And when it was all said and done, she said the worst part was dealing with insurance.
Wow. Getting your face ripped off by a bear, getting transplants, skin grafts, and all that stuff. And the worst part of that experience, dealing with insurance. Boy, howdy, amen. So if you want to bitch about something, why not bitch about the system that rewards people like Brian and punishes people like Bareface Lady? There is no system in place to effectively hold people like him accountable and that entire industry accountable because it's too big. The people that make the laws that are meant to give justice, that people speak of, the critics of all this, there is no justice. There would never be justice. That guy would continue to live his life. The stock would continue to climb. People would continue to die. get their service denied, all that shit. and because the people who are supposed to be in a position to deliver justice are bought and paid for by people and lobbyists who serve industries like this massive fucking healthcare industry. I'd love to be able to say, oh, Mr. Mangione shouldn't have done that. He should have let the justice system do its thing. But what fucking justice system? These are the same corporations. They put microplastics in our balls while we sleep. They break into my apartment. They inject my balls with microplastic. They put it in my drinking water. They stalk me. They gang stalk me. They follow me around everywhere I go.
I mean, seriously, that's the worst part. It's like that fucking Mark Ruffalo movie where it's like DuPont poisoning water supply.
Yeah.
That's the best we get is a movie decades after the fact and we go, wow, someone should make sure no one's doing that.
Boy,
and
they
every
should make
company's
sure.
We're still doing it.
Wells Fargo, just a few years ago, when they opened up dozens of accounts in people's names, ruining their lives, ruining their credit scores, racking up insane fees. Any punishment there? Take a wild fucking guess. No. Again, the bankers who did 2009, nothing. There's just no. Yes, there are a few acute cases. Some of the Enron executives got punished. For the most part, though, ain't nobody gets punished in this here world of ours.
Sure, they love like a high profile figure. Sam Bankman-Fried is a great example where, he got probably an exorbitant sentence when I would much rather them go after many white collar criminals with. I'm sure none of those guys want to go to jail for 5 years.
No. How about the people who got us, the doctors who got a lot of Americans hooked on opioids because the Sackler family and the big pharmaceutical companies gave these doctors not bribes, but kickbacks and shit, or the never-ending wars that we've got. Where's the justice system, bitch? Where is it? I'm waiting. Who's coming to save us? Luigi Mangione. That's who's coming to save us.
Well, but that's the thing. Not to get.
Not quite, but
are we going to see? Is anything going to come of this? I
No.
think you've obviously seen. I think that executive boards have maybe taken notice. They've taken down.
they're going to ratchet up their security. They're not going to do anything.
Yeah,
else.
there's all kinds of people are posting job postings for executive security positions at Amazon, at wherever. They're going to beef up all their security. They've taken down their company info pages where you can see who the CEO is of whatever company. But yeah, I don't think we're actually going to see. The one thing I am hopeful about is that thing we're seeing on the Matt Walsh and the Ben Shapiro things where people are going, fuck you. This isn't left or right. We've all been fucked over by this. And I think that's what we're talking about when we're saying that people have a bad read of this, when they're like, where does this guy fall on the left or the right?
Don't fall into that trap. Don't care what he tweeted. Don't care who he followed. Don't give a shit about any of that. Just don't care. Hey, everybody. We're going to take one last quick break.
Ben, I need to let you know something.
What?
So I've been buying gifts for everybody.
Uh-huh.
And the biggest problem for me is my credit card statement out of control. I was like, I can't tell what I'm spending on gifts, what's actually real. Luckily, I've been using Rocket Money. I'm getting rid of subscriptions I didn't need. I'm getting rid of all kinds of things I didn't want to be on my credit card. Boom.
Get out of here.
All I want to see on this credit card statement is gifts for my aunt.
That's right. That's right. To use the parlance of our times, you be swiping left on those subscriptions that you've got thanks to Rocket Money.
That's right.
So what is Rocket Money exactly? Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions. It monitors your spending. It helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. You can watch that little sapling of savings grow because you're not throwing away money on useless subscriptions you don't even know you have anymore. See all of your subs in one place and know exactly where your money is going. For ones that you don't want anymore, guess what? It's not like you got to go do anything about it. Rocket Money can even help you cancel them. Their dashboard gives you a clear view of all your expenses across all your accounts. You can easily create a personalized budget with custom categories to keep your spending on track.
And it's the perfect time to start doing this, okay? The new year's right around the corner. Let's say we all get our finances in order for the new year, okay? 2025 is your year for financial responsibility.
Look at it this way. We can all do our part to to bring down the national debt. How about that? How about that, folks? I'm just kidding. That's the government's responsibility, not yours. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features.
Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/BAES today. That's rocketmoney.com/BAES. rocketmoney.com/BAES. BAES.
All right.
Also, people looking through his follow list and you're trying to decipher something you won't be able to understand.
Right.
I follow Donald Trump because
Because you love him.
We use Twitter to keep up with stuff.
No,
Donald
it's because you
Trump
love him.
and I love him. And I really love him.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going like, oh, he followed so-and-so.
Yeah.
Which, look, he might like that guy, but it doesn't fucking give you an insight into this guy. Some of his tweets do. He's definitely, I would say he's more normie than people think, though. I think like that's just kind of what online shit is. It's not, you can't make it out in this left-right dynamic because left-right dynamic doesn't really exist. If you think like the Democrats are left, that's just not really a real thing. They're a party of elites. It's like when people were confused that like, I don't get why there's this huge number of people Trump supporters who said, if Bernie was running, I would have voted for him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, doesn't that tell you anything? People would rather vote for change than the system to stay the same.
I got a note, just back on what I was saying. What do you think happens when you've got this system in place where so many people suffer, lose their they either lose their insurance, it kicks them over the edge into poverty or struggling to make rent because of whatever kind of health issues. I mean, it happens to people every day, all the time. What do you think happens when a population gets kind of pushed to the brink like that, and you've got them? It's so easy to get guns. Also.
Oh, I mean, they really created
what did
a
you
powder
think
keg
was
there.
going to happen? I thought that's what the point of the guns was. Like, isn't that it? To like stop I can very easily make the case that things like health insurance are quite tyrannical.
Also,
What the fuck am I paying $350 a month for as a healthy?
which is on the low end.
Which is on the low end. Thank you.
And mine's going up because
You smoke.
because the new year starts
Yeah.
in a month, and
Wait, what's it going up to?
I think it's like $365 now or
Damn.
something like that, which is insane. I mean, I get literally one doctor's visit a year. Everything else is so expensive. I wanted to do this test, and it's like, well, I've already used my one doctor's visit a year,
Mhm.
and to do anything, I gotta go. I mean, you guys understand how it works. It's the fucking worst. But what you're describing it is kind of insane. I mean,
And just real fast.
it's very easy to get guns.
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine, I don't know if we can even say this on YouTube, but people, you're talking about people who are getting
Inspired?
possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, look at dude, even because you got to go outside of Twitter. You got to go to like
Sure.
normie spaces. I'm all over the New York Times comments because I'm
Mhm.
like, what are like just good liberals saying about this? And they're like, pretty much like, all right, look, I don't want to condone murder, but this motherfucker had it coming, which is
Yeah.
like the general
That's
sentiment.
kind of my
Just-
sentiment.
And I scrolled through so many. The one that went through Luigi's, personal history, close to 7,000 comments now. Just every single one I'm seeing, and I'm going through all, which is the ones that are coming in chronologically, and I'm going through the reader picks, and it's just like, god damn. So you're seeing a guy who's lionized for this action.
Mhm.
And if you're someone who's been fucked over by the healthcare industry, your doctor gives you a death sentence. Like, look, you got a month to live.
Or they hope that like, oh, you've got some condition. Yeah, it is in their best interest to not have to pay the exorbitant bills that are billed to them. That is how all insurance industries work. You pay a premium. The insurance company collects your premium as well as the premiums that everybody else is paying to that company. That then becomes what's called the float. That company, it's kind of like a bank, how a bank uses all their money to invest and see a return on that profit. or on that on those investments. Insurance companies function the same way. It's not just purely they take in all this money and then they hope to spend less than what they take in. No. They take in all that money, they invest it. They've got investment art. They do all kinds of stuff with that money. And then that's where a lot of their profit comes from, in addition to denying claims. So it's
and they're making insane profits.
Oh yeah, I think I read that they made like $16 billion in profit this year or so far this year or last year, something like that. And I just got to say, meanwhile, to underscore how this isn't a left and right issue, it is a haves and have-nots. It's rich and poor, ultra wealthy. That's why you haven't been seeing Elon Musk like tweeting very much about it. He's kind of, other than that one,
Donald Trump, we kept refreshing his thing because we're like, what are they going to say about this? Because their whole thing is somehow riling up this populist base and being like, we are economic populists somehow. And you're like, okay, that doesn't really check out to me. Richest guy in the world plus some fucking game show billionaire.
Yeah, you're a populist. Suck my dick, please.
But yeah, awfully fucking quiet except for this ridiculous take.
They're trying. That's the thing, is like, they've got their, if they are the kings in the chessboard, the likes of Ben Shapiro and all the, Tucker Carlsons and all those guys, those are like the knights and the rooks and shit. And their task is to please their overlords by going out and making the culture, making us all continue to have this spat over left and right, when the real issue all along has always been us, 99.9% versus them. I read today that the world's billionaires jumped by about 17% to 2,682 this year, and their wealth climbed to $14 trillion from $12 trillion last year. Meanwhile, global GDP, everybody on Earth, everybody's GDP, all our gross domestic product, $105 trillion. So these motherfuckers have over 10% of they possess these 2,682 people. Over 10% of the global GDP. I don't know how much further. I mean,
but this is the thing. They've pushed it too far. They were at the brink already. They, destroyed the middle class, and they're finding out that they're not going to be able to have a functioning society without allowing people to take part. It's I finally looked it up because I have definitely brought it up on the show before. It was like probably 2015. I don't know if I saw it live or if it was on something, but Bill Burr had this joke about, I've
Recently?
definitely brought it up. No, 2015 or 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And it was this, he said, he was joking. The only way things are really going to change is when people start going over gated communities and
jumping over the walls,
slicing people's throats.
Yeah.
And I remember people got uncomfortable at first, and then he brought it back and made it funny. But I was like, did I fucking dream this? And I Googled it and finally found some grainy YouTube clip of it. I was like, oh my God. But it is very close. He had a very active Goodreads, and he left a
Goodreads is the website where you review books, and Luigi Mangione had a Goodreads account.
Yes,
yeah,
full of stuff that's very consistent with the history we're getting. There's books about, there's one called Crooked, all about back pain and how to manage it and all that stuff. There's a bunch of books about back pain, and then some. Of course, he left a review on the Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber Manifesto.
Yeah,
gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It's too long to read the whole thing, but he had this part: when all other forms of communication fail, violence is necessary to survive. You may not like his methods, but to see things from his perspective, it's not terrorism; it's war and revolution. Fossil fuel companies actively suppress anything that stands in their way, and within a generation or two, it will begin costing human lives by greater and greater magnitudes until the Earth is just a flaming ball orbiting third from the sun. Peaceful protest is outright ignored. Economic protest isn't possible in the current system. So how long until we recognize that violence against those who lead us to such destruction is justified as self-defense?
Damn, dog. Yeah, that's fucking A, dude.
I also love giving it 4 out of 5 stars. It's like,
yeah.
But
and I mean, that's where I then have trouble because like the Unabomber, you know, he bombed the federal building and a bunch of fucking kids died.
Which in his review he says he doesn't condone
yeah.
killing innocent people, and that's why he went a different route.
Yes, that is why he
Took
went a
out
different route.
One guilty motherfucker.
Yeah. I did love.
Leave it to an Italian. You know what I'm saying?
Did I sell a little bit of fart coin to buy some Luigi coin? You bet your ass. I had a moment where I was like, I bet someone made already. There were and this guy, there was a I guess the runner-up to the United CEO healthcare shooter lookalike contest showed up at the scene of the crime to shill hashtag Luigi.
Good for him.
We
don't stand by that. You know,
God almighty.
Don't tarnish a good. You know, I'm going crazy. People were DMing me being like, are you going crazy for this? And it's like, wait, are you an Italian American, strong jaw? I mean, pictures.
Such a strong jaw.
Pictures all over
Great
the internet
body,
with his shirt off.
He's a surfer? Fuck yeah.
I mean, the abs. I mean, yeah, I'm going crazy for it.
He's getting barreled. He's getting barreled in my heart.
But
yeah, look at that.
It's
great
very
teeth. 26. That's how I all this time I'm like, wait, how old is he?
And speaking of what we're talking about just in the beginning of the episode, I do worry that in just a couple days, when this comes out, it might be a completely different thing. You know, but as far as we know right now, he seems like quite a normal guy.
Yeah.
Outside of this, like these absent 6 months, he's got that like it's like the Lost Weekend with John Lennon and Harry Nilsson, which he had someone posted, one of his friends posted a picture of him. It's very normal. It's hard to say his handle, but he posted a picture to the both of them on his Instagram, and he just wrote, "He's not a monster. I can't put into words on how worried I am for you right now. They have this story all upside down."
Whoa. See, now that's interesting.
Isn't it? It's just like not your average there's usually a profile going along with a high profile shooter.
I mean, back pain will make a motherfucker do some crazy shit.
Truly,
I don't know if you've ever had back pain.
I've been dealing with back pain, you know, for the last year probably, and it can make you crazy. I don't. It's odd. I'm very curious about these last 6 months. He seems very normy. You know, in his taking pictures at the frat house. Had kind of the whole world at his fingertips. I mean,
he was well-educated, came from a good family, handsome,
interested in coding and AI and all this stuff. I mean, he really could have gone down a different path.
Again, that's why I keep harping on. It speaks to
the fishiness.
It speaks to what is broken in our system, and how, I mean, a guy like this getting pushed to that brink, it makes you wonder how many people out there crack in different ways, and they turn to drugs, or they turn to alcohol, or they turn to domestic abuse and all kinds of things that tear apart families and relationships. And this guy chose a different route. And I'm saying there are so many other things that we just don't see and hear about that are a product of the very system that drove him to do what he did.
Some people are pointing to drugs, saying stuff about psychedelics and ayahuasca, maybe. I just don't know.
I do worry that they are going to assassinate him, like the guy who killed Lee Harvey Oswald,
Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, I hope that
Why?
nothing.
Because if he goes to trial, it'll be too.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the ruling class.
Did you see him kind of yelling as they were taking him out of the car?
Can we Google that?
Here, I could probably find it.
Pull it up.
But
as he was getting pulled out of the SUV and brought into.
It's hard to understand exactly what he's saying, but some people are speculating. So
I mean, I was able to hear. Unfortunately, known dipshit Benny Johnson was tweeting about it, but here it is. Luigi Mangione.
I believe what he says is the media is completely out of touch, and it's an insult to the intelligence of the American people.
Play it.
Completely out of touch, and it's an insult to the intelligence of the American people and their lived experience.
And their lived
experience. Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. It wouldn't surprise me if Elon Musk then used this as like, the media is, you are the media now. Fucking shut the fuck up.
I don't think he touches it.
I don't think so either. And some were speculating that
I just cannot believe Trump was able to keep his mouth shut this whole time.
I know. I find it interesting. Someone floated the theory that the reason Elon Musk is going around with his fucking kid literally like on his
Yeah.
head is as a human shield. And
What?
I wouldn't put it past him, man.
No, dude.
I wouldn't put it past him. He's walking around with his kid as a hey, no assassin's gonna shoot that child. Well, who knows?
The
But
only thing
maybe they're
Trump's
good enough
tweeted
shot.
is some stuff about Syria. He hasn't said anything.
Maybe he hasn't figured out a I don't know. Maybe he hasn't figured out a good enough quip.
Well, that's the thing. People who try to say this is like the people who try to go against it and say this is, the ramblings of freakish leftists
Yeah.
get met with like, what the hell's wrong with you? You're showing who you really are if you are going to act as some kind of defense for
Yeah.
CEOs and
I just love
especially
that.
healthcare CEOs.
I really do love that people were turning on Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh and
Oh, dude.
the whole right wing
Reading those
media
comments.
apparatus. Reading those comments is very cathartic.
I have a question.
Here's some.
Do you think there's going to be copycats?
I think that it is very possible that there may be copycats, and I hope that if there are, they aren't sloppy. And what I mean by that is I hope they aren't using tactics. If there were to be a copycat situation, I hope nobody's doing like a Timothy McVeigh Unabomber type thing where you're just going a shotgun approach.
Here's
because innocent people don't deserve to be killed or maimed.
This is Ben Shapiro's video, a shocking targeted attack, and the left celebrates. And people were commenting. Here's one. I work in a factory in a deep red state. My coworkers all voted for Trump and wear his merch. They were laughing at the incident. It's not just the left.
Yeah.
And someone else, why do you pick on the left? This is bipartisan. You are out of touch. Ben, you're a millionaire. You aren't a true blue collar conservative. You're a rich guy that tries to appeal to working class Republicans. You don't understand what poor people go through.
Yeah, I think, and I just have to say, when I'm talking about like the ultra well, I'm talking about people whose net worths are like $500 million and above.
Oh, this is the one you were talking about. If you look at that first reply with, but I just realized your entire business model requires that normal folk hate each other.
There you go. I just realized your entire business model requires that us normal folk hate each other. Fucking A right,
Yeah.
man. Facts don't care about your feelings, Ben. God,
You're alone on this, Ben. This just reaffirms your position and stance against the working class. That's
I think the video itself has so many
dislikes.
thousands of dislikes versus thumbs down versus thumbs up.
I hope that at the very least we can
Cocksucker.
get right-wing grifters to expose themselves as
Shills. I mean, we already have. Like, we've known it for a long time.
yes, but
That's-
obviously there is this is obviously very illuminating to some portion of their audience.
Yeah, I really that's what my hope. My hope is that what comes out of this is a newfound kind of unity among the majority of Americans and just people, is that realizing that a lot of the shit that's been fed to us comes from people like Ben Shapiro, who are in service of their political and corporate overlords, whose best interest involves keeping us occupied with stupid non-issue, well, not non-issue shit, but shit that has us pointing the finger. They're loving it. They love when people are getting worked up over fucking bathrooms and shit.
Exactly. It's the culture war. It's
the culture war to distract from what we really ought to be focused on, which is the
Class
fact that
war.
one guy has one guy has over like $360 billion. More than $1 billion would be enough to spend over 10 lifetimes. And when we talked about the Enron episode, which you can see on YouTube last week, it's a great episode. But the fact that Enron was we touched on it. The fact that it was the 7th most valuable company in the world in 2000, valued at $70 billion, that doesn't even crack like the top 50 today. It just speaks to how that window has shifted so much. I remember when the wealthiest guy in the world it was like $90 billion 10, 15 years ago. 90 billion doesn't even get you in the top 20.
You're a loser.
What? You're a fucking loser if you're only worth $90 billion.
You're a fucking loser.
It's fucking, it's, and where are we going to be in 10 years? At what point are we okay with one person possessing so much wealth, so much influence that they become completely untouchable. You can't say shit. And that's why Elon Musk and other people, that's why they act the way that they do. He knows that he's completely untouchable. And even if, I'll just play your
I thought
game.
he acted like that because he's the most divorced guy in the world.
Most divorced?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there is that. But even if you were to say, I'm totally fine with this guy having $360 billion. Okay, fine. What about $1 trillion? Are you cool with that?
Well, they're saying he's on pace to become the first trillionaire.
He is.
Yeah.
He's on pace to become the first trillionaire.
If he becomes a trillionaire and someone doesn't kill him, we are useless.
We're totally, I just don't give a shit anymore.
These are antisocial freaks. Any other species would like
Kill.
root this out of their, they'd be like, this is bad for our collective species.
Thank you.
But we lionize these people and say like, this is good. This is not only good, it's an example of what, and if you work hard enough, you might be able to become one of these antisocial freaks. We should snuff them out.
Or at least clip their nuts, man.
But yes, going back, I do hope there's that. I do hope at some point people start. Our Instagram reposted because there was, I think it was in the wake of the election. There was that woman wrote the article which everyone was dunking on. Don't replace the culture war with the class war.
Oh yeah.
But then someone put the little meme face guy crying and
please,
bro, please don't worry, or bro, please don't worry about why you pay more in taxes than billionaires. Worry about the war on Christmas and the trans agenda. Please, bro, stay distracted, bro.
Yeah, I love that one. God, that's good.
And it would be nice if people got more clear-eyed about who is really your enemy, and it's not other poor people. I'll tell you that much.
It's like classic thing of like. People defending billionaires because they think it's going to be them one day.
Yeah.
And that's fine. You can think that. I believe in you. I think that I strive to be wealthy so that I can enjoy my life and take care of the people that I love. I don't strive to be worth, I don't even think of it as it within the realm of possibility to hit like the $1 billion mark. I just want enough to live comfortably and take care of my people and enjoy myself. And I think something's wrong with you if you like fucking Jeff Bezos has a yacht that's just the support yacht for his main yacht. He's got a mega yacht whose only purpose is to follow around the big one, the other one, and loaded with supplies. Just toilet paper.
I mean, dude, a perfect example is the way we talked about it yesterday, but it's worth talking about here. You basically described the way Palmer Luckey responded to me. Palmer Luckey in the wake of this, who is the Oculus guy who is now basically just like a huge defense contractor, basically just sells drones to the government. And he tweeted about how, in the wake of all this, go up. He said, I hope the New York City assassination gives certain people a hint as to why concern about mass reporting on the location of specific private jets is in fact reasonable rather than hysterical, commenting on how it's not that bad for these guys to want to keep it private where their jets are going and everything. And I, as a joke, because these guys should not even see my shit. I retweeted. I said, man, if I was a rich guy right now, I would be shutting my ass up. and he responded. He said, that mindset is at least part of why you'll never get there. And it's like, my guy, none of us strive to be there. And yes, you have a broken mindset. You're an antisocial freak. And I obviously retweeted that and said it, and you'll never be happy. You can accumulate all the wealth you want, but you'll never outrun the nagging sense that you have too much while so many have so little. You can buy a government to protect you from those that hate you, but you'll never be free from their scorn.
Yeah. And then he wrote, I don't know, man. I'm pretty heckin' happy. But I think I like that he was so quick to be like, oh, that attitude is exactly why you'll never be rich. No, it's just, it's if anything, your stance was practical. It was just like, dude, if I were rich, I'd be shutting my ass up right now. And not being like, well, this is why Elon Musk doesn't want his jet information published. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, of course that's why he doesn't want his.
Right.
That's why he said it's dangerous for him. Yeah, because people don't like the fact that there's a guy flying around worth that fucking much money because it sucks because maybe they just got denied for their who knows, man.
It is a
their health
perfect-
insurance.
It's also just a perfect example of how he views the world works for him, right? Even in the wake of a CEO being slain, he's like, hello, government, we might need to shut down anybody who's talking about our jets.
Yeah. Suck my dick to everybody. Not everybody, the bad guys. The bad guys. The bad guys can suck me off. But I'm not going to come. I'm just going to make you keep on going. You're just going to keep on sucking. Just like the Christmas toad. You just suck until I say stop. But I'm not going to say stop. You're just going to have to keep going. Do I enjoy it? I don't know.
Do you?
If I close my eyes, maybe it feels good. I don't know.
Oh,
what
dude.
am I talking about right now? I
That
don't
kind of
even
reminds
know.
me of. I want to tell you about something in the.
In the bonus?
Yeah.
By the way, guys, because we should end it here.
Yeah, we've just been.
We're going to be talking about the
rambling.
other big thing that I wanted to talk about in the main episode, but it was just too much.
This was
UFOs.
obviously the story, but honestly, by Thursday, it probably won't be.
The
And you guys will be like,
drones,
"Why
man,
are
the
they
drones.
talking about?"
I'm going to be
Luigi?"
going all up in the drone business shit. We're going to be talking about the drones in New Jersey. These Italian drones. You can hear them as they zip by going, "Hey, how's
Now,
your mother?"
my big takeaway from all this is, I think if you're not Italian, maybe you should just stay out of this.
Yeah.
one. You know what I mean?
Maybe sit down and
Yeah. Why
listen.
don't you sit down and sit your Jewish ass down and listen?
What?
Because people say like, I sat my white ass down and listened.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just like
Why Jewish?
because you're Jewish.
Oh, me?
yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I am. I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm trying to learn. I didn't know you were talking to me. I thought you were talking to the people. I was like, buddy, there ain't that many.
We don't have that many Jew listeners.
I don't know. Hey, Jews out there, sound off in the comments.
Comment hi.
Yeah. Comment CHAI. Hi. Okay. So
Greek listeners, Italian listeners,
we're all cousins.
stand back and stand by.
Stand back, stand by.
Comment on the bonus.
And folks, stay vigilant out there. Okay? Stay vigilant. Keep your head on a swivel.
On a swivel
You know,
is never more.
don't do anything stupid. Just be careful, be smart, and best wishes to all, except for the cocksuckers.
You know
out
who sorry, we do have to end, but you know
What?
who I can't wait till we hear from?
Who?
That lady who, when you watch the video?
When I watched what video?
When you watch the video of him gunning down the.
Oh, yeah.
There's that
oh,
lady
the
who sneaks away.
witness. Yeah.
Can you come out? Can you talk?
Yeah.
Can you get
Where
in?
is she?
What? I need to know what was going on. Also, beautiful restraint from my boy Luigi.
What,
not-
taking the time?
Well, no, not getting an innocent stuck in the crossfire.
Oh, yeah,
you know
of
what I mean?
course.
Get out
Yeah.
of here, lady. These bullets are
He
for
probably
one
said, "Hey, how you doing?"
Brian Thompson.
He said, "Hey, how you doing?"
That is the problem. His
Thank you.
Italianness did get him in the end. He could not help but flirt with the.
Get the teller at McDonald's.
We cannot help it. just as Andrew Cuomo said, the great Andrew Cuomo said, "I'm not perverted. I'm Italian."
That's great. Yeah, that is right. He did say that.
Okay.
He did say that.
When we were born like this.
Yeah. Anyway, folks, we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.